Hello again, everyone. This is Randy, your sewing machine man, and what we're looking at today is a machine called a dial-a-stitch. And you're thinking, wow, dial-a-stitch, I don't think I've ever heard of that. That's because this is just a little sticker that someone has actually glued on here. And the dealers used to do that back in the good old days when I started out in the early 70s. These would come in from Japan, and they'd have any kind of a name on them you could imagine. Sometimes it'd be China, Japanese writing, and you didn't know what the word. But we'd take two screws off and put a sticker on. We put dial-a-stitch, dial and sew, Stitch-o-matic, dressmaker, universal, all sorts of names that have absolutely no meaning whatsoever. And we usually had a drawer full of these labels, and we just peel one off and stick it on, and just that's the way it was done back then. I wasn't in charge. I was just working for the guy, and that's what we did. But the good thing was they're great machines. These machines came along when Singer was really at the worst part of their game. Singer was putting plastic and everything in their machines, and they were starting to go south, and people were looking for a good alternative. This one was definitely one of them, and if they could get past the dial and stitch, well, I'd show them the steel gears, I'd show them the cast iron, show them the automotive paint finish, and the fact that it would sew like a house of fire, and it would make a beautiful, beautiful stitch. Just a real nice, great little machine made in Japan. So you're looking for these, you think, I'm gonna go someplace and maybe, I don't know, spend $50, $100, $150, depending on whether you get an estate sale or Goodwill or a Salvation Army thrift store. These machines are out there. There's thousands and thousands of them out there. You just got to find them. That's your job. If you want a good heavy duty, that's really heavy duty. Cast iron is heavy duty. It's not plastic. It has a front load 15 class bobbin, which is standard. Really nice. It's got the motor down here, a fractional horsepower motor. There's a lot of similarities to this to an old Kenmore. And matter of fact, you guys may know more about it, may know that maybe the people that made the Kenmores made this. But you can get these without a scratch on them. Sometimes they look like they've never been used. He said this was in the closet for 40 years. And when you get these out of the closet, or if you're buying one somewhere and you wonder if they're going to be worthwhile, always push the reverse button, make sure it works, turn your dials, make sure they function, make sure that everything's not frozen up. That'll make it real easy for you. Make sure the hand wheel turns. If it does, that's a good thing. If not, it's usually thread locked down below here. But a good little machine, if you can find one. Let me give you a heads up. They weigh a ton. I don't know if it's the 2,000-pound version of a ton, but it may be the 50-pound version of a ton. Very heavy. If you break anything, it'll be a needle. If you sew anything you don't want to sew, it'll probably be your finger. Keep it out of there. These are very powerful little machines. They will sew up a storm, denim, canvas. They'll sew it all day long. So, good little machine. If you can get one, find one, dial-a-stitch. It could have any name on it. Underneath, it's got some goofy little number like, let's see, 1200 TW. A 1200 TW. I don't know what that is. That's somebody's model number, but I guess it works in Japan. But if it's made in Japan, the plaque is over on the right-hand side, a little stamped metal plaque, and it says made in Japan. That's all you need to know from back in the day. Awesome little machine. Dial-a-stitch. Thanks.